Another MMO has bit the dust. That's quite right. The ZeniMax MMO, the sequel, the prequel, whatever, to Elder Scrolls Online, the Fallout MMO, whatever it was going to be, is unofficially dead. Microsoft has been laying off huge arrays of not just Microsoft studios, but Xbox studios and all its subdivisions. That includes Blizzard, it includes Bethesda, and every facet of Xbox's gaming divisions is being hit by layoffs, and a lot of games got cancelled. The MMO genre is already in dire straits. We haven't had a big new MMO that's come to the scene and actually done well for quite some time. And sadly, one of the upcoming one of the most exciting MMOs period in the story is no longer real. It's effectively dead. Here we see from Jason Schreier, the new MMORPG project from ZeniMax Online Studios, makers of the Elder Scrolls Online, has been cancelled as part of the Xbox layoffs, sources tell Bloomberg News. The project, codenamed Blackbird, has been in development since 2018, still more news to come this morning. Effectively, one of the most ambitious MMO projects, 7+ years of development. I know there was some COVID delays and a bunch of things, so let's just say 5 years of proper development, or maybe 4.5. Effectively gone. Overnight, Microsoft has decided that it is no longer worth investing money or time into the development of this MMO. But that's just one facet of the layoffs, because no one even knew, which meant the project was actually going well. The development was going smoothly. It was actually on track to be as successful, to be a well-done MMO. As one illustration of just how sloppy and chaotic today's mass Xbox layoff has been, some employees at ZeniMax Online Studios are now watching their Slack accounts abruptly get locked out. No message from HR, no word on whether they still have a job, just an ominous Slack deactivation. They don't even know who they're laying off. They've effectively just across the board shit the bed. From every facet you could think of, Microsoft is not doing a good job here. If the MMO was on track to being developed well, to be on track for a good solid release, why was it cancelled? Now Microsoft has metrics and internals that we don't have access to. They can see the profit margins of games like World of Warcraft, Classic WoW, Elder Scrolls Online. This huge array of content that they have access to shows them where profit margins really are. And part of me is now thinking that when Phil Spencer was essentially told by Natcha Sadella that, hey Phil, start making money. We didn't spend $70 billion to buy Activision for you to have zero fucking results. Phil Spencer took a look at all the games he had access to, all the studios, all the IPs, all the content, and I think he looked at this upcoming MMO, took a look at every single metric he had access to, and told himself and told everyone working there, I don't think this MMO is going to make money. I don't think MMOs are going to make money. And that is damning to me and terrifying to me, because it affects more than just the Elder Scrolls Online sequel, ESO 2, or Fallout MMO, or Starfield MMO, whatever it was meant to be. It affects every potential MMO inside of Blizzard. What that means is World of Warcraft 2.0, at the end of the World Cell saga, may get less budget. Classic Plus, the sequel to essentially Classic World of Warcraft, may get cancelled. By Microsoft canceling this MMO that was effectively getting close to release, and based off everything we've seen and what, Jason Schreier has said, what other people have said, the MMO was on good track. Was it close to completion? Nobody's really sure, but it was on good track and going down the right direction, and they had access to so many teams, so many helpful people, so many studios and support studios, that there was no reason for it to get cancelled. But there was no money in it. Then over here, we have the Blizzard Vice President of Quality Assurance, Vladia Summers, tells all QA to work from home. Today will be difficult, she wrote in an email to staff. Now, the number one consensus you get down here in the comment section is Blizzard as QA. Some people are getting laid off from home. I can't even bear looking at your soon to be unemployed faces. Please refrain from accessing the facilities. The vibe at work must be great right now. Today, work from home. Next week, you can stay at home. There's no work for you anymore. These comments are just tragic. They're incredibly sad. And the issue is, it's a multifaceted layoff. They're not just targeting one studio. Every single studio under the Xbox umbrella is being hit by layoffs. Microsoft is trying to lean off about 5 to 15% of their entire workforce. And I think that means every studio is going to lose 1 to 10% of their employee count. So you might be working at Blizzard today, And you might wake up tomorrow to being locked out of all offices, all buildings, all software, all emails, and no longer be employed. You may effectively have helped contribute to the success of WoW, to the success of Diablo, to the success of any other franchise, and you could have woken up to just a complete layoff. The amount of games that may have gotten cancelled is staggering. If the Oblivion remaster hadn't come out, they may have actually cut funding for that as well, because they weren't very excited for those metrics, for the amount of money it was going to make. They thought it was going to make money, just not that much. This MMO that got cancelled is truly devastating as an MMO player, as an MMO channel, because this is a Classic Plus channel, a World of Warcraft channel, an MMO channel. And it was one of the MMOs I was looking forward to. Now, we look at Jason Schreier's comments here, right? It's, you know, he's got some information inside that we people don't, right? We're breaking news of his breaking news. And it wasn't a Fallout MMO. It wasn't a Skyrim or an Elder Scrolls MMO. It was a brand new IP. And Microsoft probably saw the risk in that. They saw the risk in doing a brand new IP and canceled it. Because an MMO is sold by the hype and the fan base behind it, and is ZeniMax or Bethesda's name alone enough to sell an MMO in today's day and age? Starfield didn't hit the metrics anybody expected it to hit. It failed quite, spectacularly. Now, Elder Scrolls 6 is a different ball game, but that's Elder Scrolls 6. This new IP, this new MMO being cancelled hits my heart with strings that just truly hurt, because Microsoft's budget is beyond measure, more than any other company. They have the ability to write checks that can take time to be cashed. They don't have to have rewards immediately. And it looks like Microsoft's leadership does not care. Xbox at the end of the day is probably still a very small facet of that employment, of that money, of that generation, like of the income that Xbox as a whole that contributes to Microsoft. And these MMOs being cancelled or losing budget or losing support or losing anything like that, it effectively just means that no game is safe. No hype thing you're looking forward to is safe. The Fallout 3 remaster or remake could get cancelled. Elder Scrolls 6 could get delayed. So many titles and IPs at Microsoft are now in jeopardy because these layoffs, and I've been talking about just Blizzard here and ZeniMax here and the MMO here for the most part. Over 10 studios at Xbox have been hit so far. This isn't just like a ZeniMax, a Bethesda, or a Blizzard thing. Every studio has been hit. The amount of people that have lost their jobs probably number in the low case 500-600 up to 2,000 or 3,000 employees have gotten laid off or are in the process of being laid off right now. I expect by the end of this week or by Monday next week, we are going to come to learn that over 1,000 employees at Xbox have been laid off. 1,000 game developers, writers, artists, engineers, QA, wherever they can do layoffs, they're probably going to do some layoffs. And I can bet you money, no senior executives, no executives at all are probably going to get laid off here. And those that do, probably left voluntarily with a golden parachute. Couple million in stock, some bonuses, a year's salary, severance. Whereas the regular people, the people making the game, the people that are passionate on the ground floor, developing, writing, creating the assets and the enjoyment and the journey, they're probably not getting shit. They're probably just locked out, sitting at home right now, or at the office where everybody's panicking, stress, terror. This is disappointing from Microsoft. Microsoft truly dropped the ball here by not preparing correctly. There was no reason for a lot of these layoffs. A lot of these games probably would have resulted in solid products. Look at Doom the Dark Ages. It did rather well. Look at Starfield. Despite its failures, it did really well. Look at Indiana Jones. There are so many games they did and have resulted in releasing that have done well, but they can still fail to hit metrics. For example, Hi-Fi Rush won all the awards, shut down the studio, then they sold it off to somebody else who kept them going. Microsoft is not handling things well, and I was truly excited that Microsoft was going to actually hit the ground running and knock things out the park and do an amazing job. Now I'm worried about the future of Blizzard. I'm worried about the future of World of Warcraft. I'm worried about the future of Classic. The MMO genre is already a dying genre. Losing one of the big upcoming MMOs doesn't instill joy or excitement in anybody. It makes the genre seem more daunting, more prone to failure, more prone to effectively dying. And looking at all this information, looking at all the things we have access to, I hope that Microsoft turns things around and this MMO is not cancelled. They can't unfire people. I mean, they can, but they're not going to. I truly hope that they look at all of this and come to their senses and try to save money elsewhere. You don't need to lay off all these people. You've had record-breaking profits every single month for years. Why are we letting go of people doing hard work, hard labor, trying to contribute to the gaming scene and make genres and IPs and franchises stand out once again? Creativity shouldn't be rewarded with punishment. It should be rewarded with rewards. This is not a great video to make. It's truly an absolutely devastating situation, and the MMO genre is honestly looking more and more cooked as each year goes by. Thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, like and subscribe. If you hated it, understandable. Dislike and subscribe. It is what it is. Thank you all for watching. Ebonhard out. Peace.